Hi everyone, a very good evening to all the students out there, and it's a pleasure to be back with all of you once again on the Transform series. Yes, so we're back with you, and yes, today to discuss a very important topic as well because I keep seeing queries about it. But before we start off, let's ask all of you how is everyone doing? How are your studies going? Are you staying consistent? Yes or no? Yes. And yes, also I would want to ask that I've been giving all the targets which include your custom test, which include your transform test, which includes your INI-CET mocks and grand test as well. So have you all joined the Transform with Dam's WhatsApp channel? Yes. And are you appearing for the test? Yes. It's a long time, but yes, finally we are back. So we will. Okay. Right. So people are saying that we are consistent, we are working hard, but then yes, when we are trying to meet the targets, there is one problem that comes up. Yes, the problem of making mistakes. So how many of you are always disturbed about your performance in the grand test, right? And how you have been doing so far? Some of you think you're doing a lot of silly mistakes. Some of you think the number of correct is a little too low, right? So let's see what are your concerns when we especially talk about the grand test. Yes?
A very good evening, all of you. And the queries that we have already with us are number one is revision, number two we see is grand test scores, number three is consistency, number four is sir kar to rahe lekin momentum nahi aa raha. The reason, I know, and this is one of the reasons that we had to, reduce the frequency of the transform also was the date of the exam. We all know that the date of exam is 30th of August, and you are the first batch that I am teaching this year where I am confidently able to tell you when is the exam. So the exam is a little far off, and whenever we see an exam which is a little far off, we tend to have that confusion with us that am I, giving going all out too early. So that is the logic, and that is the reason that we have thought will come today and address these queries. So let's start with the most important elephant in the room. Sir, my GT scores are stuck. I am at 100 correct. I am at 110 correct. Please tell me in the comment box how many of you feel you are at 100 or 110, 90 to 110 stuck at this marks. Can you, this number of correct, can you start writing it down?
Right. So in fact, I would say um, yes. Anything less than 100 correct, you can categorize yourself into one zone, and then you have to find out whether you're between 100 to 125. Okay, and then the next zone, you all know, I've talked about it previously as well, is 125 to 140, and then we will say if you are more than 140 correct. Yes.
So I see a lot of you are at 90 to 110 correct. So can you tell me, do you feel, and I see some of you have 120 also, do you feel you are stuck? The reason you feel stuck is I will today introduce an concept to you. It's a concept that you have all learned in microbiology called as incubation period. Incubation period means that even if you are infected, sometimes it takes time to show the symptoms. And this is my answer to the question that you are saying, sir, I'm already studying well, but my score is not improving, my number of correct is not improving. I want you to believe you are in the incubation period. There are changes that that you're making in your progress, but it is not reflecting in the final score because you are in the incubation period. The second thing I wanted to tell you is more important than what is your number of correct. It is important, are you analyzing your mistakes? Now, whenever you make a mistake, let us try to understand. Suppose you get a question on, suppose I give you a simple question on consolidation of right upper lobe, like you saw in the last year's NEET PG paper. And suppose you see this question, you will think it is so simple. And then if you listen to my video solution, you will still think, "Yare, ye to mujhe pata hai." But on the real day of exam, you get confused. Is it collapse? Is it consolidation? And you make a mistake. You mark it as collapse. And that time your brain opens to suggestions. You are like, sir, आप बताओ इसको कैसे सोचना है. So we remain open, we become open to suggestions once we make a mistake. So those 100 questions that you're doing wrong today are not a problem, they are an opportunity. They are an opportunity from which you can learn how to improve. And number one resource that I would recommend to you would be your DAMS GT video solutions. Please go through your video solutions of your mistakes. It may look like they are not benefiting for the first test, second test, third test, but if you listen to the video solutions by the teacher for 5 grand tests, that means you would have heard teachers for 500 of your mistakes. And once you make a mistake, the memory that the teachers will create in your brain will be permanent. In the 6th GT, you are likely to make 500 less mistakes, and your number of corrects will jump to plus 10, plus 20, and you will start getting 120 correct. So that is one of the things I wanted to tell you.
I think that's very true, because also this is something that I want to re-emphasize, that when you say, you would review your grand test, not only is Dr. Sumay talking about listening to the video solutions, I want to elaborate a little on this. Do you review on the same day, or do you take multiple days to review it? That's also very important. See, please remember, it is very essential to review at least the minimum requirement is your mistakes on the very same day. Because, when you have done a mistake, you're more receptive to what was the reason behind this mistake. You're able to chart it out, whether it was my content based error, something that I really did not know, my content is superficial or inadequate, or it was an application error, like, I was able to not apply what I know, or, it is something which is really my
I'll add,
memory bias.
I have something to add here. Doubts are transient phenomena that happen during the exam day. If you postpone looking at the video solution, just like Madam told you, 2 days later you would have forgotten what your doubt was.
Right. So please, it is a kind request that whatever review we are talking about, it is most effective if it is done on the same day. Now, the second problem of the review, because I feel ये ऐसी चीजें which will help everyone, no matter what your zone of correct is, and then I'll go specific as well. But अभी हम कुछ ऐसी बातें कर रहे हैं which will be useful to no matter at what level you are stuck. These are some common things which we, sort of neglect. So the second thing that I have seen when I talk to students about their strategy, what they are doing in order to help them, and when I ask them about the review, they would say, I do it very rapidly. Do you understand? That's again a false. When you are reviewing, suppose you have taken, let's say, 2 hours to give the grand test, and you are reviewing in merely 30, 40 minutes. Do you think it is appropriate? No. Review should at least take 1.5 to twice the time you took to give the paper, so that you are able to, as I said, do a review which is effective. So please ensure that your review is not inadequate. You are not doing it for anyone else. Okay? So please ensure you do it on the same day, give it some time. And some of you really get perturbed about it. Ma'am, the review takes a day. So is it worth it? Yes. It is where you put your investment. Okay? So these are the two top important things when we talk about how to review. The minimum requirement is see your video solutions. The minimum requirement is at least see the ones that you did wrong. The minimum requirement is do it on the same day and take twice the time you took to give the paper to review your mistakes. Okay?
So that puts it to around 6 to 7 hours. Like if you give a GT in 3.5 hours, it should take you 6 to 7 hours to review it. And it's a very fair time. It's very important. Now, second thing is, sometimes your number of corrects may not be picking up because of your poor exam technique. Poor exam technique means how aggressive should I go in the paper? And I want you to answer in the comments how many questions do you attempt, or how many questions do you think people who are getting good scores are attempting? How many questions do you attempt in a grand test? मतलब आपने बताया आपके 100 ठीक हो रहे हैं, मैं मान गया, लेकिन किए कितने थे? अटेम्प्ट कितने किए थे? ये भी तो जानना जरूरी है ना? So can you let us know in the comments so that we can help you? How many of the questions are you attempting? And then the question is, like I see somebody saying 140, somebody saying 190, somebody saying 191, somebody saying 195. Okay, so we see a variable. Now the question that I'm going to ask you is, how many do you think toppers are attempting?
Full.
Toppers are attempting
Usually
195.
195, yes,
Okay,
or more.
but I'll tell you a secret. How many do you think people who are getting at the bottom of the table, how many are they attempting? They are also attempting full. So only attempting full may not be the best strategy. You need to find how much aggression works out for you. I'll tell you a simple thing. Give the next DAMS grand test in a more aggressive mode. Give it in a more aggressive mode. मतलब ज्यादा अटेम्प्ट करने की कोशिश करते हैं, ज्यादा करने की कोशिश करते हैं, ठीक है? एजुकेटेड गेस लगाते हैं, रूल आउट करते हैं, एलिमिनेट करते हैं. We go aggressive on the paper. In the subsequent GT, I want you to go a little defensive. In the subsequent GT, I want you to go a little defensive. Okay? Then in the next GT, more aggressive. Fourth GT, again defensive. हाथ रोक के खेलेंगे. By the time you reach your fifth GT, you would have titrated in which technique are you able to get more number of correct. And you will know your own method. आपके हिसाब से कितना एग्रेशन में जाना चाहिए वो काम आएगा. ऐसा नहीं कि ब्लाइंडली कॉपी करेंगे, टॉपर ने बोला 200 करेंगे तो फिर आखिरी वाले ने भी 200 किया, उसके माइनस में नंबर आ गया, उसका क्या करें? So you need to find what is working for you. Titrate your skills. This is the time when you start beginning the titration game. एक जीटी ज्यादा एग्रेसिव, एक डिफेंसिव, एग्रेसिव डिफेंसिव, पांचवी जीटी तक आइडिया हो जाएगा.
Also, generally, yes, Dr. Sumer is saying you have to find out your sweet spot, but please understand your sweet spot cannot be less than 170. Okay, if you feel, okay, if I go below 170, I'll be very safe. No.
The sweet spot has to be defined by the number of corrects you are.
Yes, you cannot go less than 170 marking in the main exam. Okay, the sweet spot is going to be somewhere in the range of 170 to 195, which is what you have to figure out. So attempting too low is also a problem. And some students say, ma'am, abhi humne pura padha nahi hai, that is why I'm not attempting. I would say still do the educated guesswork. Even, if you are left with, let's say, 6 subjects and you've done the others, even for those 6 subjects, do not leave the questions. At least give them a read, give the options a read. A lot of times, your basic knowledge of some other subjects you can use and you can still rule out the options and maybe arrive at two possibly correct questions, and then it is a fair chance to take. It is an educated guess. Okay?
So I think Dr. Deepti has put up a very important logic, and I'll debate and I'll go deeper into it. Suppose you do not know the answer to a question. What method will you use? You will use the method of elimination. How many choices are you able to rule out? Usually you will be able to rule out 2 options. How many left? 2 options. Can you write it in the chat box? 2 options. Probability 50-50. Now all the toppers who come to us, they tell us कि sir जो मैंने pick किया ठीक निकला. And all the average rankers who will come to us and say जो मैंने pick किया साला वही गलत निकला. करें क्या? How do I get it right? वो 50% पे कैसे जीतना है? That is what Dr. Deepti just explained to you. Change the subject. If you're looking at a gynae question and suppose you're not able to solve from your gynae knowledge, pivot the subject, apply physiology. Pivot the subject, apply anatomy. Am I able to apply some other subject logic? If you've attended my radiology class, I have in each of any question that I discuss with you, I teach you that अगर radiology से नहीं हो पा रहा कोई बात नहीं, लॉजिक चेंज करते हैं, पैथो का लगाते हैं, इन्फ्लामेशन है कि नहीं है, एक्यूट है कि क्रॉनिक है, ट्यूमर लग रहा है कि नहीं लग रहा है. वी अप्लाई दोज लॉजिक्स टू रिड्यूस एंड इंप्रूव आवर प्रोबेबिलिटी. And that is where अगर probability 50-50 है तो guess work है. If you improve the probability to 55-45, it becomes the educated guess. That is what the toppers are doing. They are using a educated guess. Now I'll initiate one more conversation and hand over Dr. Deepti to elaborate. Some of you still think कि पेपर कल है. नहीं है बेटा पेपर कल. पेपर अगस्त 30 को है. बहुत टाइम है. So when you are analyzing your grand tests, and you find in one particular subject you are consistently low performing, तो भाई टाइम है अभी पूरा लेक्चर पूरा का पूरा डैम्स बैक टू बेसिक से उठा के पूरा का पूरा वीडियो उसका दोबारा टेक डालना. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. In at DAMS, all our material have been made keeping the student's mindset and your ability under consideration. कोई भी वीडियो उतना है ही नहीं कि जो आप ना कर पाओ. चाहे वो मेन लेक्चर्स भी हैं, वो उसका साइज उतना ही रखा है जो इंसान कर पाए। सो दैट इज व्हाट वी हैव थॉट ऑफ। तो अगर तेरे को लग रहा है बार बार मेरा रेडियोलॉजी गलत हो रहा है, बार बार मेरा डर्मेटोलॉजी गलत हो रहा है, उसका लेक्चर सुन डाल, अभी बहुत टाइम है। यू गो डीप ऑन टू इट, not just the mistakes. Now it is very important for most of the students. The idea that we've given you is कि listen to the video solutions, bare minimum of the mistakes. But what if the entire subject is gone? तब क्या करें? अगर वो सब्जेक्ट ही खत्म हो रहा है, हर बार खराब हो रहा है, तो जीतेंगे कैसे? Go to your back to basics.
Okay, so I'm quickly going to also comment here, take up what Dr. Sumer has said, and answer a query which has come multiple times in the chat, which is how frequently should I give the grand test? Now, what Dr. Sumer has said and what you are asking are interlinked. Now, please understand, a lot of you think learning of content is done through MCQs, and that's where you are falling a trap. Okay, you cannot learn the content from MCQs. You can learn the application of content. You can learn the art of ruling out. You can learn time management. You can learn, how to identify your weak zones, but you cannot learn content from MCQs. So now, if you are someone who is consistently below 100, it should be an eye opener to you. Doing GT every week, sorry, is not going to help you. It will not increase your number. Even if you keep doing it for once every week for next 4 weeks, it will not change your number of correct. So if you are someone who is less than 100, you have to acknowledge that content is your main problem. Maybe you are relying too much on shortcuts, on reducing the content. But मुझे बताओ why? What is the hurry? There are 6 months to go for the exam. Yes. Why do you want to hurry so much that you are rushing after, compromising on the most important thing, the thing that forms your base, and that is your content? Do you understand this? So anyone less than 100, is there time to start again, working on the concepts and the content? Absolutely yes. मैं ये थक चुकी हूँ बोल बोल के कि 6 महीने तो आप अगर किसी को स्क्रैच से भी शुरू कराओगे ना, they can also do well.
आज भी शुरू करोगे तो भी टाइम।
Yes, who is asking you to run? There is no need. There are 6 months. Give yourself time, build your concept, build your content, and then start working on the MCQ skill, not vice versa. Also, people who are less than 100, please acknowledge that maybe majority of your big subjects are not at par as with others. So these are the most important 6 bigs. Okay. So medicine, surgery, obs and gynae, path, pharma, and PSM. Yes. So now is the time to cover these big, bulky subjects. They are like elephants. Tackle them now, and they will help you. A lot of these are integrated as well. So pharma will be used in medicine as well. Okay. And therefore, these 6 are your core building blocks. You have to ensure that you are not doing badly in all these 6. The second big problem are the other extreme who neglect all short subjects. कि ये तो short है. Please understand, अगर आप उनको इकट्ठा कर दोगे ना, right? Radio, then psychiatry, then dermatology, orthopedics, anesthesia, and I can also include FMT into it. So other 6. Do you realize this? So मैंने 2 भाग में कर दिए हैं. 6 बहुत बड़े और 6 छोटे. They form the major bulk. You put these 6 chote together, you have a lot of MCQs in your pocket, and the amount of hard work you need to do for them is actually much less in comparison. And suddenly you realize that out of 19, you've tackled 12. Okay, so please do not neglect the 6 chotus and the 6 badas. This is very important. They form the major bulk together. Okay, so this was for people who are less than 100. I will gradually talk about others.
Okay, and so I have also given you hints on elimination, how to make the educated guess. We talked about how to titrate your skills into how aggressive works out for you. But like Dr. Deepti has already pointed out, कि you can't be like too defensive. वो तो है ही. ऐसा तो हो पेपर छोड़ के आ जाएंगे थोड़ी जीतेंगे. So then idea is that you have to be appropriately aggressive enough for you. Now my suggestions further for you are, I want you to tell me what do you plan to revise? How do you plan to revise further? Like अभी 2 तरह के बच्चे हो गए. एक जो कह रहे हैं कि अभी पढ़ना शुरू कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है, अभी बहुत टाइम है. अभी हम चाहें तो पूरा डिटेल में भी पढ़ सकते हैं, अभी बहुत टाइम
पढ़ना
है। आप
चाहिए।
आप पढ़ चुके हैं और आप रिवाइज करना चाहते हैं, व्हाट इज योर प्लानिंग फॉर रिवीजन? I'll give you a small idea that I had, and I'll share with Dr. Deepti also. When I was studying for my own in my school time, during my school time, I had no idea how to study. So I made my first reading from my NCRT books. During reading, at the bottom of my book, so whenever we are reading, we underline with pencil any important points I was underlining. At the bottom of my book, I was writing the keywords. That these are the keywords that are important from this page. So the NCRT book is the concept, underline is the high yield material, keyword is the final revision material. So when we build the curriculum in DAMS, I follow the same principle. Your DAMS class notes are the NCRT for NEET PG. There is no other NCRT. We are the people who started it. That is the NCRT for NEET PG. Your underlying material is your LRR.
And DVT.
Which LRR? The keywords are your DVT, which is for your final revision. So that is how you do. So when you revise, most people get it wrong. You don't revise everything. In your final revision, you revise high yield. The purpose of final revision is not concept building. You've already made it. Purpose of final revision is to feel confident. You make two questions later on, हो सकता है वो पुराना याद वाला भी कर लो, हो सकता है क्लास की बात याद आ जाए, फिर रिवाइज क्यों करना है? To feel confident. People who have seen all the high yield in the last month feel more confident, and that is why now we are in the season of DVT. Very soon we'll be starting with DVT, 15th March, I think, or 16th.
Yeah,
Of
starting with Chennai.
we are going to Chennai, and me and our Deepti will be opening the house in Chennai. We have two full batches. We are unable to take any more batches in Chennai, so we are already full there. And after that, we are doing a Delhi DVT. And in the DVT, we will revise everything high yield for you. But we have a purpose in mind. That is a timeline. This is the entire high yield of each subject, which you can revise in a manner of 7 days. That is our plan. तो जब हम 7 दिन में कर पाएंगे, आप भी 7 दिन में रिवाइज करोगे. So look at it like this. Pehla revision is concept building. If you do your main notes twice, it is good enough. But sometimes I see children, especially our own students, they become too attached. सर मेन नोट्स तो मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं, सर मैं कुछ और कैसे करूँगा? कोई बात नहीं, वो सेम टीचर ही तो आके तुझे एलआरआर कर रहे हैं, तेरे साथ डीबीटी कर रहे हैं. दिस आर सेम पीपल, सो दे नो हाउ टू मेक इट मोर कंडेंस्ड. So don't get over attached to the main notes. You have to shift to DVT when we tell you to.
We tell
Because
you when to do it.
एंड स्पेशली इन द एंड व्हेन वी से कि डीबीटी कर, क्योंकि मुझे पता है वो 4 बार कर पाएगा, वो तो 5 बार कर पाएगा. एंड दैट विल गिव यू सुपर कॉन्फिडेंस दैट आई हैव सीन what my 30 teachers have advised me that these are the final main things to be looked at. I've seen them. You feel super confident. वो लाना बहुत जरूरी है ना. लेकिन अगर अभी पढ़ना शुरू कर रहा है और अभी तुझे लगता है कि अभी मेरे को सर मुझे तो सब्जेक्ट का आइडिया ही नहीं है, तो शुरू करते हैं ना मेन नोट से. Even if you start today, there is ample time till 30th of August. So that is my suggestion.
Okay. So I will now talk about if you are between 100 to 125 correct. And I'll also, when I'm talking about this, I'll answer the queries that I have seen in the chat box. So if you are between 100 to 125 correct, is it a good idea to read your main notes one more time? I would say yes. You will definitely benefit if you read your main notes one more time if you're in the range of 100 to 125. Okay? Ideally, yes, two reading of main notes is very, very good. And the second reading helps you push through the borderline areas. Someone are also asking, how much time should my second reading take? Exactly half of the first. Suppose you covered medicine in 10 days in the first reading. Now, when you're reviewing it again, keep your target to finish it in 5 days. So, if obs and gynae you did in 7 days, try and keep it in 3.5 days. If radiology you did in 3 days, do it over a day of a single day. I think that would be more than enough if if he has taught you. Yes. So, one more reading between 100 to 125 of main notes is good. But what else do I want you to add? I want you to add two very important test papers in this revision part. That is your first revision. One would be your class test paper, okay, because it gives you the current pattern of exams of this subject. And the other is the fast track TND, okay, because it gives you how exactly we are going to frame the questions, how deep we are going to go. So use the class test and the fast track TND when you are doing your revision. So you can actually do the reverse. You can first attempt the test and then go to notes so that you read the parts which you are weak at first rather than going from the first page of the notes to the last page of the notes. Also, in this particular reading, I want you to finish the PYQs from the DQB. Okay, that will give you confidence as well. Okay, plus we keep sharing some mini tests in, I keep sharing that for you, so those will keep coming intermittently so that you can revise other subjects side
And
by
a
side.
very, very important thing. So I have just now I have shared on the channel in the chat box the link to the DAMS WhatsApp channel. Are you subscribed to the DAMS WhatsApp channel or not? Every day we are giving you custom tests to help you practice. How many of you are following those custom
If
tests?
you
Let us
follow
know
the
in the test.
Telegram channel of dance, 50 MCQs every day are done just like that only.
Telegram channel, WhatsApp channel.
So
Telegram
WhatsApp
channel,
channel,
WhatsApp
sorry.
channel. So you do both of them. So the goal that we have is,
WhatsApp,
अगर
I'm
देखो
sharing
एक
that.
बार बात देखते हैं, सोच के देखते हैं, रोज हम 5 क्वेश्चन डेली क्विज में ऐप पे डालते हैं, ठीक है, एक केस ऑफ द डे डालते हैं, एक कस्टम टेस्ट डालते हैं व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर,
नहीं, मैं
एक
3
टेलीग्राम पे
custom
क्विज,
tests डाल रही हूँ.
एक मतलब एक टेलीग्राम क्विज भी डाल रहे हैं, एक अलग अलग फैकल्टी भी डाल रहे हैं. गोल क्या है हमारा? मेरा गोल क्या है कि खेल खेल में तुझे पता भी ना चले, तेरे
50
25-50
MCQs ऐसे ही
क्वेश्चन
हो
तो
जाएंगे.
हम ही ऐसे ही करा देंगे.
Yes.
And that is the edge. Please follow what we are doing. Please follow the WhatsApp channel. Please follow the Telegram channels. Please do the custom test when we advise them. हाथ खड़ा करके बोलना है कि सर कभी गलती नहीं करेंगे, मिस नहीं करेंगे, जरूर करना है.
Or custom test I'm sharing in the WhatsApp channel. Currently, we are revising the main clinical subjects. I am giving every day 3 custom tests, one from medicine, one from surgery, one from obs and gynae, and usually I'm giving the custom test from PYQs because there are a vast variety to be covered. Okay.
And we don't stop at that. Every day we are sharing small reels or shorts of your questions in our Instagram page also, on the YouTube channel also. So even if you're not, very regular with the question banks and the practice, will keep pushing you. But coming to a very important question, many of you are students who are targeting the INI-CET paper in the May exam. I'll give you 3 suggestions. Number one, start with your PYQs. If you have not done the INI-CET PYQs on your DAMS app and the AIMS 2014 to 2018 questions on your DAMS app, please start with them. उनको रोज करना शुरू करते हैं. रोज 50 भी करेगा ना, तो till the time you reach the INI-CET paper, you would have finished it. Number two, in addition to the routine priorities that we use for NEET PG, in INI-CET paper, first, second year will form a more chunk of questions. So make sure that you're not weak at any of the first, second year subjects. In your DAMS app, in the Back to Basics, you will see a special section in anatomy called as Cadaveric Anatomy. Please look at those videos. 2 biostatistics. In radiology section, I have added a special session for radiology science. Please see that video. Also, I have another suggestion for you. For INI-CET paper, start practicing the INI-CET mock test on your DAMS app. It will give you more confidence.
Giving them as target. Okay, coming to frequency, for those who are between 125, 100 to 125 correct, you can give actually GTs every 2 to 3 weeks, right? So not earlier than that. So every 2 to 3 weeks, if your number of correct is less than 125, matlab between 100 to 125. If your number of correct is between 125 to 140, your minimum intervals should be once every 2 weeks. That's minimum. Okay, it can be actually 10 to 15 days. So if you're between 125 to 140, anywhere between once every 10 days to once every 15 days. Okay, and for people who are in this zone, if you have covered your subjects once or twice, now in this particular zone, you can actually very well shift to LRR. Okay, so between 125 to 140, for doing your revision, you can now shift to live rapid revision videos. They are from your main videos itself. The same faculty has given you in short what to revise and how to revise. Along with that, I would say definitely add a TND. Okay, it is a game changer because when you are between 125 to 140, you know your content. It's not that you don't know it, but there is a gap in application, there is a gap in integration. And when you attend the testing discussion session, the entire idea is how to integrate keywords, how to rule out, how to apply the content, apart from giving updates and MCQ skills, and that is there. But adding TND in this particular zone will be really, really helpful, right? So that is between 125 to 140.
And also, like if you are a kind of person who is still working out and improving on your basic concepts, अगर आपको लगता है कि मेरे बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट ऐसे हैं जिसमें मेरे बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स नहीं बन रहे, तो मेरे दो सजेशन है दैट सिलेक्ट दैट सब्जेक्ट, गो टू बैक टू बेसिक्स टू डू दैट वीडियो. अगर वो नहीं हो पा रहा, on each video there is a link called as Cortex AI for the golden points. Now I have introduced two more features for you. You can click on the icon called as synopsis, and the synopsis will give you the entire summary of what is there in the lecture in a one paragraph. You can also click on mind maps, and the AI will convert that lecture into a mind map. So I think you can use these tools to make it more like quick understanding for you. You have to use the power of AI on the dance lectures to make sure that you are learning in a rocket speed. तो वो भी यूज कर सकते हैं.
Okay. Now coming to those who are beyond 140 correct. So if you are beyond 140 correct, then yes, your frequency should be anywhere between 7 to 10 days. So you can give it every week, yes, or 10 days. Now, what is the purpose of giving good gap between grand tests? The entire purpose is reviewing. Okay. So apart from listening to the videos of grand tests, once you go through your mistakes, you will be able to identify what you are weak at, what is volatile for you, what was new for you. So between one GT and the other GT or the next GT, it is very important to go through these mistakes from your notes. So especially if it was a conceptual or a content based error. Understand what I mean when I say conceptual or content based error. It means number one, that this is something in the content that I did not know. Okay. So my content was superficial. The depth I did not know. So I answered the question incorrectly. Or I did not understand this particular concept. Then for these two things, it is very important to go back to your main notes. For application errors, listening to video discussions is the key. They really help you. That's what I said, that GT videos will help. Tests and discussions would be really useful. So for application errors, it's usually the approach to the MCQ and how you use your content. Yes. So between two GTs, you need to keep this gap so that you're able to review. Don't give it too, quickly. Don't think somebody who's given 100 GTs is going to top. No, it doesn't happen that way. You keep increasing the frequency depending on how many corrects are you getting, और जितने करेक्ट बढ़ते जाएंगे you can decrease the frequency because you will take less time to review because your mistakes are less, right?
So I'll take a query. एक बच्चे query कि sir, I am giving my FMG exam for fourth time. What should be my approach? So बेटा, my suggestion to you is first of all घर पे मत बैठो. After you give 3 attempts और आप borderline पे आपका रह रहा है, कभी 148 लिखा आपने, कभी 149 है, and it becomes very tricky because you keep thinking of क्या वो एक ठीक हो जाता तो मैं और अच्छा कर लेता, and you feel that you go into that loop when you're preparing at home. Come to the classes. We have already started the face-to-face classroom in DAMS Gautam Nagar for this year's FMG batch. Please sit in the class. ये मत सोचो मुझे अगली बार 149 से लड़ाई लड़नी है, अगली बार वापस से 1 मार्क से दोबारा गेम शुरू हो जाता है. यू डोंट हैव अ 149 ऑलरेडी इन योर किटी. नेक्स्ट टाइम फिर ये 149 तो लाने लाने दो और लाने. So it is better to come and passively sit in the classes and sit with the teachers. That gives you the more output. एक और जो चीज़ मैं अभी आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, which is very useful for all the students preparing for any MCQ exams, that is asking a question. All of you are trying to do कि हम किसी तरह से ना रट लें, किसी तरह याद कर लें. याद करने से MCQ नहीं होता. याद करने से ना कॉलेज के एग्जाम लिखे जाते हैं. रटने से you can't crack the NEET PG paper or a competitive paper where you have to think why this is the answer, why this is not the answer.
Yes, because
So
your answers are very close.
I will today teach you a exercise which is called as critical thinking. Most people believe that it's the only skill that will remain relevant in the long term for humanity with AI coming into place. Your skill will be every time I give you a question, you will say, why not this? Okay, I'll explain to you. Suppose I give you an X-ray showing you giant cell tumor. One of the choices is saying osteosarcoma. इंस्टेड ऑफ सिंपली सेइंग अरे ये तो जीसीटी दिख रहा है मुझे, पेपर पे नहीं दिखेगा तुझे, अभी दिख रहा है पेपर पे, सब कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है, सर ये क्यों नहीं बोला, व्हाई नॉट ओस्टियोसार्कोमा, एंड ट्राई आंसरिंग दिस इन प्रिसाइज सिंपल लाइन, सिंपल लैंग्वेज टू योरसेल्फ. More you do it, more you will start thinking like a topper. Can you do this exercise? Why not this? Maybe I'll ask Dr. Deepti also. Let's see. Okay, we'll try. Suppose you have a question which shows snow. I'm just trying to get madam also engaged. Snowstorm appearance on ultrasound with identifiable fetal parts. One of the choices saying molar pregnancy. Molar pregnancy. Can you tell me? Question is, why not molar pregnancy? The image is showing snowstorm appearance because the second choice is saying partial molar pregnancy. So what is correct? Why not A? Why not B? You understand? So when you start doing this critical thinking, your MCQ skill evolves.
Yes, and this is actually very important for the current pattern of exams because what I've seen is multiple times in NEET and multiple times in NEET PG, two options seem correct. Yes or no? Do you agree with me? पहले सारे बच्चे बताएंगे ऐसा लगता है आपको कि यार ये दोनों ही ऑप्शन आंसर थे yes or no and that's where majority of people will get stuck if your content is not good because जब दो आंसर सही हैं apart from yes knowing the MCQ skill आप ruling out से नहीं कर पाओगे then
अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा ना जो पता है अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा
yes, then you have to see which is more correct in the given case scenario. And you have to go with your instincts with that, or you go with your knowledge, or you go with the application. Yes, for example, for somebody, the moment they see snowstorm, they will answer it as complete mole, no matter what you say. Yes,
very important.
but then there was something else Dr. Sumer added to it. He said with fetal parts, and that changes the game completely. So sometimes, yes, two options will be correct, but one will be more correct than the other, and that is why that is the answer. So, critical thinking is important. It will come when you have your content. Okay, on the basis of that, you do the critical. If you have never heard about partial mole, no matter you read the question 10 times, you will not get the answer. Right?
ओके सो आई सी वन वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेरी एक बच्चे का कह रहा है कि सर जब मैंने नहीं पढ़ा था ना तो मैं बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट था अब पढ़ना शुरू किया हो तो मुझे सभी जगह डाउट होने लगा दैट इज द डाउट ऑफ नॉलेज दैट इज ट्रू when like fools are shouting up and down on the streets पूरा देश भरा हुआ है लोग कूद रहे हैं इधर उधर पता ही नहीं उसे होना क्या है जिसको पता है वो बेचारा शांत होकर बैठा है कि क्या ये हो सकता है ये भी हो सकता है ये भी तो हो सकता है ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड when you become knowledgeable the knowledge makes you more humble because you understand that I have to think more वो मैं जो बिना पढ़े कर रहा था उससे बनेगी नहीं बात and you start thinking more so my questions for you are very important you have to know when to think fast when to think slow if it is a direct question from your exam in your classes जो क्लास में पढ़ाया गया वो सीधा से सीधा आ गया मैडम ने दिखाया स्नो स्टॉर्म वही आ गया go ahead with fast thinking. But usually, if it is an indirect question and if you do fast thinking, you will make silly mistake. आपने snowstorm देखा, fetal part देखे ही नहीं. You make a mistake. It was not a direct question. It is an indirect question. So indirect questions need slow thinking. Slow doesn't mean कि पूरा 3 घंटे उसी पे लगा देना ऐसा नहीं. Pause कर, analyze कर, rule out कर, then attack कर. That's the game. And more you play this, better you will become. I'll ask Dr. Deepti now to do this with me. Let us think of it. एक क्वेश्चन है लास्ट ईयर के नीट पीजी का डॉक्टर दीप्ति जिसमें ना बोल रहे हैं वुमन हैज एब्डोमिनल डिस्कम्फर्ट एंड एमआरआई इमेज इज शोन टू यू विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज द डायग्नोसिस ठीक है वन ऑफ द चॉइसेस इज फाइब्रॉइड विदाउट लुकिंग एट द एमआरआई डू यू थिंक फाइब्रॉइड इज द आंसर
Well, if I have to understand this, you have to know, you have to go with common sense, as Dr. Samay said. Whenever we talk about MRI analysis, we're not routinely doing MRI for fibroids, right? We don't really need it in most of the cases. I've even taught you that when we talk about MRI and fibroid, it is usually only a pre-operative investigation. For multiple fibroids, there I need to plan my surgery or my surgical plans. Yes? So if no other information is given to you, you have to know the correct way to approach the MCQ. Yes, in some circumstances, yes. Rarely I may need it even for a fibroid. Yes, but that's not what is commonly done. Yes.
so you have to think what is commonly done for a fibroid. You will do a transvaginal sonogram or a ultrasound, and which will be enough for most of the cases until unless we have something special going on. It is more of so now you're thinking there are 4 choices in the paper, last year's NEET PG. endometriosis, adenomyosis, fibroid, polyp. Now, and they've shown an MRI image. A polyp is endoluminal. It's in the lumen of the cavity of the. It is in the cavity of the uterus. Probably you might go for a hysteroscopy to see the polyp. Why MRI? That leaves me with two choices: endometriosis, adenomyosis. So, without looking at the image, applying my concepts or my thinking process, I am trying to narrow down my options. Again, my suggestion to you is that please work on both the things in parallel. Without knowledge, there is no MCQ skill. Without MCQ skill, knowledge becomes difficult to score the top ranks. तो दोनों को साथ लेके चलना पड़ेगा ना. तो वी आर ट्राइंग आवर बेस्ट इन एवरी ऑफ आवर सेशन. वी कीप टेलिंग यू बैलेंस कर ले भाई. अगर कोई सब्जेक्ट पूरा ही छोड़ दिया, जितना मर्जी एमसीक्यू में जोर लगा दे, जितना मर्जी रट ले, जब सब्जेक्ट ही कभी पढ़ा नहीं तो कैसे करेगा. वो एक लाइन बदलेगी, यू गेट अगेन कंफ्यूज्ड. तो उस पर तो काम कर ले. सर टाइम कम लग रहा है, बड़े वाले तो कर लेना यार सब्जेक्ट. पैथो फार्मा पीएसएम मेडिसिन सर्जरी गाइनी, इसका तो बैक टू बेसिक्स के वीडियो सारे कर डाल यार, इसको क्यों छोड़ रहा है. अंडरस्टैंड. एंड देन यू स्टार्ट डूइंग द अदर वे राउंड के सर सर मेरा तो एनएससी से वीक है, चल कोई बात नहीं, डीवीटी से कर ले, एलआरआर से कर ले. सर मैं गाइनी कभी नहीं पढ़ा. ये तो गलत हो जाएगा ना यार. बहुत क्वेश्चन आने हैं. सर पीएसएम नहीं देखा, फर्स्ट ईयर से वो लोग दिखा रहे हैं तो क्यों से छोड़ के बैठा है. फर्स्ट ईयर से पीएसएम पढ़ा रहे हैं तो क्यों नहीं कर रहा. सो आई होप दिस गिव्स यू द सेंस दैट आई वांट यू टू हैव. Make a smart plan. I am telling you three students that I've met in recent years. एक बच्चे को मैं मिला जिसने कहता मैंने सिर्फ 3 महीने पढ़ के आईएनआई के अंदर टॉप 50 में रैंक निकाल दिया. मैंने पूछा कैसे किया तूने. कहता सर जो सब्जेक्ट वो ज्यादा पूछ रहे थे मैंने ये डैम्स का मिशन आईएनआई-सीटी किया, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन किए, और द सब्जेक्ट्स दैट आर हैविंग मोर वेटेज आई डिड द मेन वीडियोस ओनली ऑफ दो सब्जेक्ट्स. बाकी को मैंने एलआरआर डीवीटी से कर लिया. आई सेड वेरी स्मार्ट सर, आई डिड इट इन 3 months and got a top 50 rank. Second student, I met a student who passed his FMGE exam this time after 8 attempts. 8 अटेम्प्ट हो गए थे उसके. मेरे पास आया डीएफएक्स के अंदर, डैम्स के अंदर, कहता है सर मेरा हो जाएगा पास. मैंने कहा जो हम बता रहे हैं उसको फॉलो कर ले. क्या सर ये काफ़ी है. मैंने कहा तूने पूरी दुनिया सब कुछ कर लिया, जो मैं कह रहा हूँ उतना कर ले और पूरा ब्लाइंड फेथ कर. ही पास दिस टाइम. सिर्फ एक ही कारण था, वी कॉन्स्टेंटली आस्क्ड हिम टू. मैंने सिर्फ उसको एक ही चीज बोली हर क्लास में, सिर्फ तूने ये बोलना है जब टीचर पूछे यू आंसर. And keep asking yourself, why not this? Why this? Keep interacting. Instead of developing the muscle of my memory, he developed the muscle of his thinking. Third thing, we interviewed a girl with 3 kids. She got into top 2000 rank in NEET PG. वो कर सकती है तो तेरे पास जो भी बहाने हैं वो नहीं है, गलत है. जो भी तुझे लग रहा है तो बिजी है, कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है. यू हैव एम्पल टाइम. पहला बैच हो आप लोग जिसके पास डेट है अगस्त 30 की. तुझे पता है पेपर 30 अगस्त को है, फिर क्यों टाइम काट रहा है. बहुत टाइम बचा है अभी, तो कर लेना यार. जो वीकनेस से काम करते हैं, मेहनत करते हैं, एवरीथिंग इज पॉसिबल.
Okay. So now towards the end, I would say, day before yesterday, I have shared, or yesterday only, I think I've shared the details of 3 column strategy on my Instagram as a carousel. So please go through it. And if you have any doubts, you can even ask me as a DM. Yes, go through that post where I've talked about how to make those 3 columns for your reviewing and how to take corrective measures for each column as well, right? For example, like column 1 is your conceptual and application errors, and I've told you how to go about improving them. Column 2 is your volatile subjects, so how to do that. And similarly, column 3, I've talked about how to include some new information which you came across through your grand test. So you please remember that when we're talking about especially the 3 column strategy, this is what I want you to do between one GT and the next GT. And don't get overwhelmed. If you cannot do this for all 19 subjects, it's absolutely okay. Do it for your bottom 3 or bottom 5. बाकी के कम से कम एक बार अपने मिस्टेक्स वीडियो सोल्यूशन से देख लो. But for your bottom 3 or 5 subjects, follow the 3 column strategy till you give the next GT. उससे क्या होता है, in rotation, different subjects and different subtopics keep coming in your bottom. And as a result, you're always coming across your weaknesses and you're always in turn revising them in a cyclical manner. So go through that post, and if you have any doubts, you can further DM me on, what you need to know more about it. But I think it is pretty explanatory on how to maintain your wrong diary through the 3 column strategy. Lastly, As I said, what I want to reinforce here is please understand that GT low marks are not a judgment on your capability. Okay? It is not actually telling you what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. It is only telling you the current scenario, the current phase that you are in, and it is telling you well in advance so that you can take corrective measures. The problem is if you start seeing as a judgment on your capabilities and you give up. Okay, so this is where the problem arises. एक बार कम मार्क्स आए, दो बार आए, तीन बार आए, कोई बात नहीं, वो आपको कुछ बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Learn the message, take the corrective measures, and I'm sure with the right direction of work, it will improve. But you can't run away from your mistakes. For example, मुझे अभी भी, क्योंकि मैंने इंस्टा पे दो तीन बार डाला है पोस्ट, and I've asked students कि I'm here to help you. I've been getting queries like, मैम मेरे हमेशा ही 92 94 ऐसे करेक्ट आ रहे हैं. तो मुझे ये बताओ, जब आपको पता है कि 4 बार आपने जीटी देके देख लिया, वो इतने ही आ रहे हैं, तो व्हाई आर यू रनिंग अवे फ्रॉम द फैक्ट दैट इट इज टेलिंग यू दैट योर कंटेंट इज वीक? और कितने महीने हम ये रियलाइजेशन में वेस्ट करेंगे? आप उस पॉइंट तक चीज को खींच देते हो जब आप ये बोलो कि अरे अब तो टाइम ही नहीं है, तो कुछ छोटा कर लेते हैं. बट ये टाइम है आपके पास. सो स्टॉप गिविंग योर सेल्फ दीज एक्सक्यूजेस. That, see, you may be in a different phase from someone else, and that is absolutely okay. Yes, you have to stop comparing. मैम वो तो लेकिन LRR पढ़ रहे हैं, तो that is okay. वो पहले से पढ़ रहे थे, they have reached 125 correct. वो LRR पढ़ रहे हैं, it is fair for them. It might even work for them. आप 100 से भी नीचे हो, आपने नोट्स भी नहीं पूरे किए हैं, आपने सब्जेक्ट भी पूरे नहीं किए हैं, और आप ये सोच रहे हो कि वो LRR पढ़ रहे हैं तो मेरे को भी वो पढ़ना चाहिए. That's where the problem arises. We have to all understand we are in different phases of preparation. We are in different zones, and that is absolutely okay. Each one of us has a different learning curve. That is also okay. The problem is when we run away from it, we shy away from it, and we start looking from answers from outside. वो नहीं मिलेंगे. वो रियलाइजेशन होना बहुत जरूरी है बच्चे, नहीं तो फिर टाइम सच में आगे जा भी रहा है. अभी मैं बोल पा रही हूँ कि यू हैव इनफ टाइम, यू हैव इनफ टाइम, 6 महीने हैं, कोई भी कर सकता है, मगर क्या लगता है आपको मैं कितनी देर तक ऐसे बोल सकूंगी?
टाइम खत्म ही ना हो जाए. So, on that note, I have another of my ideas that I wanted to share with you today. कि ना हम सब ना कोई मैजिक वॉन्ड चाहते हैं, एंड आई थिंक वी वर डिस्कसिंग दिस इन द मॉर्निंग ऑल्सो. हम बात कर रहे थे कि हर किसी को चाहिए कोई और आके ना मेरी सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर देगा, या कोई और किताब खरीदूं या कोई और चीज खरीदूं जिससे सब खत्म हो जाए, सब सॉल्व हो जाए. बट दैट मैजिक इज इनसाइड यू. And that magic inside you will come when you start looking at the outcomes of your GTs and your DAMS test without any emotion attached to it, without any judgment attached to it. जैसे मैम ने बोला ना कि ग्रैंड टेस्ट दिया, लेकिन उसमें जो गलती है उसके लिए अपने आप को जज मत करना कि यार मैं अब बर्बाद हो गया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. यू लर्निंग. So look at those mistakes with an objective framework without judging yourself, without becoming emotionally tormenting yourself. हे भगवान मैं तो अभी भी ऐसा ही कर रहा हूँ, अब क्या होगा, लोग तो ये कर रहे हैं, उनका ले लूँ. कैसे करें? वापस आते हैं, वापस आते हैं. जीतेंगे बेटा, जीतेंगे. अपने आप के साथ जीतेंगे. द मैजिक वॉन्ड इज इनसाइड ऑफ यू. अपने अंदर है वो, अपने अंदर है. एक बार कमेंट कर दे, यू आर द मैजिक दैट यू सीक आउटसाइड. तुम खुद हो, खुद हो. कोशिश करेंगे, कोशिश करेंगे. आई एम टेलिंग यू टुडे, आई प्रॉमिस यू. मैं आज की बात में ये वादा कर रहा हूँ मैं आपको कि आज से 6 महीने बाद व्हेन यू लुक बैक यू विल बी वेरी हैप्पी विद योर एफर्ट्स दैट यू पुट इन. तुम बहुत खुश होगे. तुम्हें वो ब्रांच भी मिल जाएगी जो तुम चाहते हो, सब कुछ मिल जाएगा. लेकिन बस विश्वास किसके ऊपर करना है? अपने ऊपर करना पड़ेगा. छोड़ते हैं लोगों के ऊपर, लोगों पे छोड़ते हैं अपनी सोच. जैसे मैम ने बोला ना कि अगर यार सबकी वो नहीं है, अगर सबकी तैयारी किसी और फेज में चल रही है, कॉपी करने से थोड़ी बात बनेगी ना. अपना करते हैं ना. मेरा अगर एक सब्जेक्ट वीक है, वो रिवीजन में हो जाए, मैंने तो नहीं पढ़ा, मैं पहले पढ़ूंगा ना. दैट इज द आइडिया.
Right. And also, just a reminder that you're not alone in this journey. We won't let you be. We are constantly attached to you through various programs that we are doing. Like currently, online DVT boot camp is going on, and I see that students are in a great zone Okay, the purpose of online DVT boot camp or the offline DVT boot camp which is going on is to help you understand how to summarize, because बहुत बच्चे अपने आप summarize ही नहीं कर पाते हैं. Also, how to use this to do multiple revisions, because eventually sometimes the notes feel very overwhelming, and sometimes you've read it once, the students just don't get the rhythm to do it again. So doing it with the faculty really helps. Okay. Then we have the offline TND boot camp coming in. So we have the WhatsApp channel where I am connected to each one of you every day. Okay. I'm interacting with you all. So we are all here in various ways. We are trying to reach out to you to, but you have to know what kind of support you need. That's for you to figure out. If you're someone who can follow the schedules, then we are even giving you schedules to revise by yourself. But the commitment has to come from your side. If you feel you're someone who's not able to follow the schedules, then yes, do come up. We have offline programs, we have live online programs to ensure that you keep the momentum going. बट ये जो रियलाइजेशन है ना, ये और कोई नहीं ला सकता बच्चे. ये तो फिर हमको ही समझना पड़ेगा कि मुझे क्या चाहिए. और आप ये भी समझिए कि हर बच्चा अलग होता है. उसके लर्न करने की क्षमता अलग होती है, स्पीड अलग होती है, लर्न करने का तरीका भी अलग होता है. तो it is absolutely okay if each one of us is different, as long as we know what works for us. वो उससे हम नहीं भाग सकते. तो वंस यू रियलाइज आपको किस जोन में हेल्प चाहिए, वी आर ऑलवेज हियर फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू, राइट? एंड we will try and help in various ways. As I said, if you want to study by yourself, I'll give you a schedule. Follow. If you can't, come for a class. If you have lack in content, please be willing to do it. Okay? If your application skill is missing, revision is missing, there is no harm in absolutely going ahead with the TND. It is the most structured program for your revisions. Okay? So things are meant to help you, to accelerate you, to keep you on the right path. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि कोई बच्चा अपने आप नहीं कर सकता, सब कर सकते हैं. आप बहुत केपेबल हो, ठीक है, इंटेलिजेंट भी हो, ब्राइट भी हो, हार्ड वर्किंग भी हो. तो ऐसा थोड़ी है कि आप कर नहीं सकते हो, आप कर सकते हो. लेकिन उससे हमारी जर्नी जो होती है एक तो लंबी हो जाती है, लोनली हो जाती है, और हमें कोई बताने वाला नहीं होता कि क्या सही है और क्या गलत है. कभी कभी वी ऑल नीड दैट आउटसाइड पर्सपेक्टिव एज वेल. वी कांट स्टे इन अ शेल. So it is absolutely okay to take help whenever you need. It is also okay to not take it. If you feel that you're someone who is doing well by themselves, and that is also absolutely okay. Yes, मगर help अगर available है तो वो लेने में भी शर्म नहीं है, इसीलिए help बनी है, right? In whatever phases. Okay. So we are all here. We are going to support you. We are going to keep coming live as and when our schedules allow. But we won't lose you until your exam, and we'll increase the frequency as we keep going further. We know when to press the pedal, so we will do that as well. Okay?
आखिर में ना कुछ चीज़ें ना वापस से सोचने की ज़रूरत है. आई वॉन्ट यू टू गो बैक टू योर ओरिजिनल वाई. क्यों शुरू किए थे, क्या चाहते हो ज़िंदगी से, रिकैलिब्रेट. कभी कभी क्या होता है ना, जब लंबी लड़ाई होती है ना, आपने सोचा था मार्च में पेपर हो जाएगा, काम खत्म होगा, अपन पीजी कर रहे होंगे, अभी पेपर अगस्त में है. एंड यू स्टार्ट पुशिंग के जो पूरा अपने आप को पेडल दबा रखा था ना, वो खत्म हो गया, बिकॉज वो आर्टिफिशियल पेडल था. नाउ यू पुट द पेडल ऑफ वाई. जिंदगी का वाई क्या है तेरा, तुझे चाहिए क्या, खुद से क्या चाहता है. एंड देन यू रिकैलिब्रेट दैट वाई इनटू स्मॉलर टारगेट्स. जो तू जिंदगी से चाहता है उसको पाने के लिए तुझे अभी एमडी मेडिसिन चाहिए, या तुझे अभी एमडी डर्मेटोलॉजी चाहिए, जो भी तेरा सपना है. बट दैट इज नॉट योर फाइनल गोल. गेटिंग इनटू एमडी इज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर जर्नी. तूने बहुत बड़ा सोचा हो अपने लिए, उसको वापस से याद करते हैं. एंड दैट गिव्स अस अ मोर स्ट्रॉन्ग मोटिवेशन एज कंपेयर टू एनी एक्सटर्नल वर्ड्स ऑफ मोटिवेशन. हम कुछ भी कहते रहे, आज मैं तुझे मोटिवेट करूंगा, यू विल फील गुड अबाउट इट, तो सोचेगा आज तो पूरी हैरिसन पढ़ डालेंगे. लेकिन कल उसके लिए वापस से वाई चाहिए. गो बैक टू योर ओरिजिनल वाई. रिमाइंड योरसेल्फ. कॉपी की बिगनिंग में लिख दे कि मेरा ये वाई है. दुनिया का कुछ भी हो, लोग कुछ भी चाहते हैं, तेरी अपनी जिंदगी है, तेरा अपना यूनिक जर्नी है. यू आर मेंट टू फुलफिल योर पर्सनल लेजेंड. तुझे अपने लिए करना है, अपने लिए करते हैं. उसके अंदर ना फिर सब कुछ आसान हो जाएगा. जब अपने लिए करना है तो किसी से क्या कंपेयर करना. उसकी अपनी जर्नी, मेरी अपनी जर्नी, किसी से क्या कंपेयर करना. आउटकम के ऊपर अपने आप को क्यों टॉर्मेंट करना. हर जीटी के नंबर्स के ऊपर अपने आप को क्यों जजमेंटल होना, मैं क्या आगे नहीं कर पाऊंगा? लेट्स लर्न टू एनालाइज विदाउट जजमेंटल, गेटिंग जजमेंटल, without getting emotional about it. Let's analyze our mistakes. And if you find a weak zone, plug it hard. Use every resource that you have in your hand. You have your dams back to basics. You have your PYQs in the question bank. You have a massive test series with you. You have DVT material with you. You have a lot of things coming up. और कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जिनको डीवीडी की किताब कलेक्ट कर लिए? जस्ट लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट्स. This year we have given you a beautiful DVT book. We have now added an idea of everything pre-written. इस बार की डीवीडी में किताब में सब पहले लिखा हुआ है. So all you need to do is attend with the teacher. But at the bottom of your DVT books, I have kept a space empty for the keywords. मिल गया किताब? So I hope you have the book with you. We are starting the DVT soon in Chennai, then in Delhi, then online. We have our schedules full. We want to make sure that we push each of our students to reach to the best of their ability. हम चाहते हैं कि आप अपनी एबिलिटी के बेस्ट पहुंच पाओ. आप भी यही चाहते हो. To do that, all I want you to do is go back to the original way, reignite the fire. वो बचपन में था ना कि सर सब कर लेंगे, सब कर लेंगे. अब वो छोड़, अब क्यों सर एक जीटी का नंबर खराब हो गया, अब नहीं कर पाएंगे? ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. तो क्यों नहीं कर पाएगा? When we were given a dream, we were also given the means. So let's go ahead and do it. मिलके करते हैं, मेहनत करते हैं. We will not shy away from hard work. You will find us. जब तुम्हें लगे ना कि यार तुम थक गए हो, बोलना यार सर मैडम तो लगे हुए हैं, मैं क्यों छोड़ रहा हूँ, मैं क्यों छोड़ता हूँ अभी? सोचना एक बार, मतलब सोचने की बात है. इफ वी आर हेयर एट दिस आवर इन द नाइट पुशिंग यू, टेलिंग यू, तो तेरा भी तो जिम्मेवारी बनती है कि तू अपने सपने के ऊपर थोड़ा अटैक करेगा. कर दे, वादा कर मुझे. आई वॉन्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू प्रॉमिस मी टुडे. प्रॉमिस मी टुडे इन द कमेंट बॉक्स दैट कम व्हाट मे, यू विल गिव योर बेस्ट. अपना 100% देंगे. मुझे लगता है कि आज से 15 साल 20 साल बाद भी अपने को मिले ना, तो तुम्हें ये बात याद रहनी चाहिए, तुम्हें बोलना चाहिए सर आपने बोला था 100%, मैंने 100% दिया. आई हैव नो रिग्रेट्स.
So we'll leave you on this note and hope you take some important messages on your GT scores and the way forward, and hope you realize what you really need to do. Yes, as we said, we'll keep coming back to you. Yes, we will plan some online things for you. We've already planned online DVT. उसके बाद बोल रहे हैं TND करो online bootcamp. We'll see whatever is possible. We have our hands full, but we will, yes, we will.
I think we have introduced 3 month subscription for the app TND for the students who wanted a TND right now. तो अभी एक 3 महीने का subscription TND पे हमने डाला है अभी for the students who wanted a 3 month program.
Yeah. So tab tak you will all just promise that you will keep doing your bit. Yes, just try and stay consistent. Don't count hours, don't count MCQs, don't count anything. Okay, just ensure that you, whatever time you are spending, it has to be with full, energy. It has to be with 100% effort from your side, even if it is for only a couple of hours. Okay, so go all out. ठीक है, बर्नआउट नहीं होना है, बट जो भी हम टाइम देंगे उसमें वील ट्राई एंड डू आवर बेस्ट. यस.
एक ना बच्चे का बार बार क्वेरी है कि सर डीवीटी के बाद क्या करना है ये बताओ. तो डीवीटी आने तो दे विल क्रॉस द ब्रिज व्हेन वी रीच देयर. In our DVT session, I'll spend, me and Dr. Deepti will spend extra time with all of you to explain to you post DVT strategy as well. Wish you all the best. Have a great night ahead, and we take this opportunity to wish you all happy Holi for the festival that has just passed. And I also want to wish all of you cricket fans best of luck for the finale. How many of you are looking forward कि इंडिया जीते? कौन कौन चाहता है कि इंडिया जीते? ओके, आई एम श्योर हम सब चाहते हैं. उसी तरह हम चाहते हैं आप जीतो.
अच्छा, इस संडे ठीक है, थोड़ा थोड़ा मैच देख लो. आई एम गोइंग टू अलाउ यू फॉर दैट, बट नेक्स्ट संडे 15th of March a new GT will come. Everybody has to give and analyze, and on 22nd of March a new INI-CET mock will also come, right? So this Sunday I'm going to be a little lenient with all of you, but 15th and 22nd you have to name them to me. Okay, it's a date. You will give your grand test. If you will give your INI-CET mock as well. Okay, chalo, take care everyone. Loads of love to you all. Keep studying hard.